Dembele to Arsenal? The Gunners are ready to shock everyone. Barcelona want to snatch Rashford. Sounds wild, but talks are already underway. And the big one, Jules Koundé, is close to a Premier League move. Alright folks, you know the drill. The algorithm gods, or maybe just my fragile ego, demand a sacrifice. 400 likes. Smash that thumbs up like it owes you money, and maybe, just maybe, it'll restore our faith in a brighter future. Or at least help us break down the wildest transfer rumours. Let's dive in. Marcus Rashford in a Barcelona shirt. Sounds like a wild FIFA career mode fantasy, but guess what? This one's starting to look real. Surprised? Rashford isn't. The guy actually wants to move to Barca. Even though he's been lighting it up at Aston Villa on loan, Rashford's mind is already out of Manchester. He's flying. Form, goals, confidence, all on point. But it's not about impressing United. It's about leaving United. For good. No fire, no faith, no future. He's done with Old Trafford. Curtain closed. But hey, wearing that iconic Barca kit comes at a price. Literally. If he wants the dream move, he'll have to take a brutal pay cut. And that's not just a figure of speech. Barca's offer, lower than what he was earning in Manchester. Is he up for it? Looks like it. Because this isn't just a transfer. It's a mission. And now the numbers. 40 million euros. That's the rumoured price Barca's ready to put on the table. Makes sense, considering how badly they need a left winger who can also shift central. Play wide, drop deep. Versatility is king, and Rashford brings all of that. Especially this Rashford. Sharp again, fast again, dangerous again. But now the backstage politics begin. Barca tried to get him on loan back in January, but it fell through. Pedri's renewal took priority. Now, different story. Rashford's done at United. His agent's working the phones, offering him to top clubs. And Marcus, he's not chasing money, he's chasing legacy. Titles, a fresh start. The real question, will United let him go? 40 million euros during a rebuild? Could be. New manager, new project, new direction. Rashford just doesn't fit the picture anymore. Why keep a player whose head is already in Catalonia? And what does this mean for Barca? Potentially a massive upgrade. A forward who can cover multiple roles, inject pace and threat, and, if he clicks, become the steal of the summer. If not, well, compared to some of Barca's recent disasters, this one wouldn't even crack the top 5. Summer will decide where Rashford lands. But you don't have to wait that long. Hit subscribe right now. At least here, things move without agent drama or last-minute twists. So here's the big one. Are we really going to see Rashford in a Barcelona jersey, or is this just another transfer soap opera with no real ending? Time will tell. But the smoke's already there, and the fire's catching fast, a move that could reignite a fallen star and wake up a sleeping giant. What do you think? Should Flick take the gamble on a player with baggage but massive upside? Or will Barca play it safe and stay on the fence again? That's it. Enough. Game over. Darwin Núñez is officially becoming part of Liverpool's past. No rumours, no speculation. Fabrizio Romano confirmed it. And when Fab speaks, you know the bags are already packed. Núñez is being pushed out. Cold. Clinical. No tears, no drama. The club basically said, you just don't fit, and shut the door behind him. And Darwin? He didn't fight it. He exhaled, thanked them, and now he's off to find a new sandbox to play in. So much for that $80 million top signing. So much for the next Luis Suarez. What we got? A half-baked experiment that never quite worked. Maybe it wasn't about talent. Maybe it was all mental, because the guy works, he runs, he presses, but under pressure, he crumbles. Criticism, instant meltdown, like Morata, but on steroids. Here's the cherry on top. He's made 49 Premier League starts. You know what happens at 50. Liverpool owes Benfica £5 million more. So ask yourself, is Arne Slot really going to give him one more start? Seriously? Not a chance. That's what I call Moneyball, Merseyside edition. We want trophies, but not at that price. Officially, no one's saying it. But come on. The puzzle fits way too perfectly. On paper, he's still part of the squad. But in reality, he's already written off. Oh, and yeah, they could have offloaded him to Al Hilal in January. Talks were real. Saudi money was on the table, but Liverpool held off, just in case. Guess what? He didn't come through, he had his chances, he gets into spaces, he battles, he's not invisible. But goals? Nowhere to be found. And at Liverpool, no goals means you're not a striker. You're a sprinter. And now it's done. Story over. Will there be a second chapter? Maybe. In a comfy league. In a quiet team. Somewhere they don't boo you for missing sitters. The Saudis will probably be back in the summer. Especially with the Club World Cup hype. That might be his chance to start fresh. No rain, no boos, no pressure. But if Nunez really wants to become elite, he needs to stop sulking and start growing, as a player, as a person. Right now, he's got everything, except confidence. And if he doesn't find it soon, well, he'll go down as that guy who could have been, but never was. And hey, if you made it this far, smash that like button. Let's hit the target at least once, since Darwin clearly can't. But what do you think? Can Nunez still bounce back to world-class level? Or is this a one-way ticket out of top football? Arteta is crashing the summer transfer window with ambitions that might even outshine Guardiola's. And he's set his sights on a defensive beast from Barça. Target: Jules Koundé. Yeah, that same versatile machine who can lock down both the centre and the flank. Players like that are absolute gold at Barcelona. But Arsenal has other plans. A serious Champions League push and, obviously, a defensive upgrade. Word is, the Gunners are already preparing an official offer. Around 60 to 65 million euros. Not bad at all. No penny pinching here. Arteta personally wants Koundé in his system. Sees him as the perfect piece in the puzzle, and honestly, who can blame him? When Koundé's in form, he looks like a tank with footwork. But here's the kicker. Koundé said no. Polite French style, non, but still a clear no. Said he wants to stay at Barcelona. Told both Arsenal and the Catalans straight up. Like a guy who shows up to a date and says, just friends. Is that normal? Will Arteta back down? Come on, seriously. This is the guy who dragged Arsenal out of the mud. He doesn't quit after one setback. Sources in England whisper that he's still hopeful, planning another move. This time, not just with cash, but with vision. Something like, look, we're building something big here. Titles are coming, and you're the missing piece. But here's the problem, Barca's dead silent. They don't even want to start talks. And Koundé, he's not asking to leave either. In other words, a wall, not unbreakable, but concrete for now. So Arsenal has two options. Go all in, take the risk, and try to break through. Or start looking elsewhere, knowing the priority target just doesn't want to move. Arsenal fans, what do you think? Is Koundé worth the fight? Or is it time to move on and spend that money elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to see what you all think, and stick around, things are only getting spicier. Manchester United are about to step on the same old rake, and this one's name is Anthony Elanga. Yep, the same Elanga they offloaded to Nottingham Forest last year for a measly £15 million could now cost them £50 million to bring back. No joke, no prank. This is real life at Old Trafford. Seriously. Did anyone actually think this through when they let him go? In just one season, the inexperienced kid turned into a Premier League machine. 14 goals, blistering pace, fearless attacking. And now, everyone wants him. Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs. But the idea of bringing him back to United? That's next level madness. Sell him for peanuts, and a year later, throw 3 times that amount at the same player? That's not transfer policy. That's football masochism. And Forest, they're loving every second. They already told Newcastle to take their £50 million and jog on. Their owner Evangelos Marinakis isn't in the mood for discounts. Maybe they'll consider 55 or even 60. Why not? The auction is heating up. And Forest are about to cash in. Big time. So now we ask United's board, have you learned nothing? Did the Pogba saga just disappear from your memory? Sell low, buy high, then act shocked and start pointing fingers when it backfires. Elanga isn't some fairy tale of a club legend returning home. He's a straight-up blunder. And now, United are scrambling to fix it by paying triple. Is that normal? Then again, maybe this is exactly what Elanga needs. Maybe the exit lit a fire under him. He looks stronger, sharper, hungrier. Maybe this version of Elanga is the one United never believed in, and now he's back to prove everyone wrong. But here's the real question. Will the new United leadership own up to the past mistake and throw down that crazy money to bring him back? Because let's be real, they had their shot, and now they're in a bidding war. Arsenal are lurking, Chelsea are throwing money around like it's candy. Spurs, they want in, but they're hesitating as always. Meanwhile, Forest are rubbing their hands together. This kind of payday doesn't come around often. So what do you think, United fans? Do you actually want Elanga back in red? Or is this just another waste of millions in the making? Either way, this story's far from over. And trust me, it's shaping up to be one of the wildest transfer dramas of the summer. Because if United mess this up again, who takes the blame this time? Stay tuned, this soap opera's just getting started. Arsenal are seriously eyeing Ousmane Dembele from PSG. Yeah, that Dembele. The one who spent half his life injured at Barça and drove their fans absolutely insane. But hold on, the guy's got a new lease on life in Paris. The dribbling's back, the pace is electric, and he's whipping in assists like it's a bake sale. In short, he finally remembered why he's on a football pitch. Arsenal, meanwhile, are apparently done with their attackers being made of glass. Seriously, how many more key injuries can this team take? They create chances, the football's good, and then boom, someone's off to the medical room again. Looks like Arteta's had enough. He wants a forward who's not just fast, but hungry. Someone who can drag the team forward when it matters. Enter Dembele. Yeah, it's a risk. No one's arguing that. The guy cost Barcelona a mind-blowing 135 million euros and never fully delivered. But things have changed in Paris. He's looking sharp, like dangerously sharp. Sure, the injury history is still there. This guy's body has a mind of its own. But if you manage him right, it's fireworks. Dembele in form is like early Eden Hazard mixed with prime Neymar. On his day, he'll turn fullbacks into memes. For Arteta, this could be the X factor to finally take Arsenal back to the top, where fans have been dreaming of returning for nearly 2 decades. But wait, he's not the only one in the queue. Liverpool and Manchester United are circling too. Still, Arteta's not backing down. Arsenal are ready to go all in, even outbid the competition if it comes to that. Position-wise, Dembele fits Arteta's system like a glove. He can play on the wing, create chaos, dish out assists, and according to reports, Arteta is actually considering using him as a false 9. Let that sink in. Dembele as a striker. That's either a complete disaster or a tactical masterstroke. If Arteta believes in that kind of move, then you can believe in one thing too, the subscribe button. No injury risk, no agent drama, just top transfer updates every week. For now, Arsenal fans are biting their nails. Dembele is a roller coaster. He'll either light up the league or leave fans crying into their pints. Personally, I think it's a risk worth taking. If he comes to London and finds his rhythm, next season in the Premier League might need a PG-18 warning. But what do you think? Can the Frenchman handle the pressure in London? Or are we looking at another injury-riddled saga with a massive price tag?